your eyes closed, you using muscle.
What's that?
With your eyes closed, you using muscle.
When your eyes are closed, what happened?
Using muscle.
You're using more muscle?
Yeah.
Could you explain a little bit? Ah, you gave up on me. You gave up on me. Just, okay, I'm coming. Finish what you said. So you're using more effort, right, to try to stay balanced? Gotcha. I got you. Gonna go on? Tell me what you're gonna say.
I said if you focus on things.
Yeah, you really have to try too. Yeah? You have to really focus more to get that balance going. Yeah? Other explanation?
When your eyes are open, you have like a specific focal point of view that you're looking at. And when you close your eyes, it's not the same.
Yeah.
When you look at something when your eyes are open, you can kind of center yourself with it. But when your eyes are closed, you can't really.
I like that as well. You guys are brilliant. Alright? Yeah? The interesting thing, which sense is responsible for balance? The auditory sense. I didn't tell you to shut that down. So why when you close your eyes, you lose your balance?
Because you think that it's your vision.
Because you think it's your vision. Yeah? Perception could also send us in directions we don't need to be, right? We think it's the vision. 80% of the information we feed the brain with comes from the visual sense, for us who are sighted. 80% of the information we feed this amazing brain with is from just the visual sense. You have a lot of proprioceptors, we call them, Golgi tendon organs, muscle spindles that's directly connected and surrounding all of those neurons and muscle fibers and giving you information that, oh, you are off space, you're off balance. And they're telling the brain information and you're not hearing because you're focused on your visual sense. I heard Coach Kenny told you this morning. He said, listen, so you practice. When you practice it, you're feeding the brain with information, but you almost forget everything when you go out to perform. Because you're not letting your body explore it, right? The body is going to know, hey, listen, we practice and we really have all these motor programs inside because we know what we need to do, so let's go out there and play. Let's go out there and be loose and just do the thing we train the body to do. Some people say it's muscle memory. I like to say it's a sensory motor memory because the brain is so amazing that when you hear the coaches teach you all through this weekend, you're getting input. The brain is going, that's just through your senses. The brain is only fed through the senses. It's all your senses. Visual sense, auditory sense, kinetic sense. How you know this is hard? It is because you have all of these sensory receptors. If you're going up to the brain is going to say, oh yeah, we know, we experienced this before. It is a hard surface. Something is hot, you move it immediately because the brain is like, oh, no, keep your hand there, you'll never. And these things, in minute seconds, they're firing, giving information back and forth. If you're scared, the brain is going to say, oh, okay, all right, so that's where we're going now? Okay, so let's just do this. Anything you tell the brain, all right? The brain is going to process. And that's what you're doing right now. Every time they give you challenges and they're using your kinetic sense and he's telling you, oh, I heard him this morning, because they're not pushing off to lean forward. You know, you got to push up. Am I saying it right? You're moving up. Yeah? I've been hanging out with them, you know? I picked up a few things. Yeah? Your brain has that information. But it's your kinetic sense. When you do it and you do it right, and you say do it again and do it again, So your brain, he's making sure that he's creating a default in your brain. Right? There's a catch inside of this. Because what he's doing, and that's why I want you to pay attention when he's working out, when the coaches are working out, Coach Marker, Coach Pratt, when they're working with you, I want you to really pay attention, because the catch is that if you already have a program in your brain, and you heard that Katura talked about it last night, when she said, she had to go to college, she had to learn new things, because it's possible for her to learn things in high school that it wasn't too correct. So now she had to overwrite it with new forms to create a default. You all are computer whiz. You know what default, right? And that's what you're doing, because, and I'll tell you, so be aware of this. So if you're learning and tweaking new patterns of behaviors, of doing whatever they're teaching you, you're getting the new information. I'm just going to put new here, I'm going to put old here. Right? You're trying to override the old information. The trick is, the funny thing is that the old information is still there. They don't go away, because the brain has a wide capacity to take a lot of information. It's still there, right? Do you know when it's going to show up? To remind you that it's still there? If you're not paying attention and this is not a deliberate act for you, when is it going to show up? Take a guess if you don't know for sure. When? I'm not hearing you. When? When is it going to show up?
I'm tired and stressed.
Track meets? What happens with track meets? You're overthinking, you're going back to, right? This is going back to the old habits, because they're still there. When you're tired, you go right back there. When you're stressed, it goes right back there. Those of you who not putting correct nutrition in your bodies because the brain loves certain kind of foods and not paying attention to the nutrients that you're putting in there for the brain to be active, it goes back to the old one. So then you realize that, oh my gosh, we learned all these new things and my body is supposed to move in a certain way into these new movement patterns, and when you're in competition, when it really matters, you can't remember. And now you're frustrated. And now you're panicking because you're frustrated. So now it's like a domino effect. So what wins? The old pattern wins. The old pattern is going to say, yeah, baby, look at me, right? And watch you come last. That's how it works. You must make it deliberate. Pay attention. Yeah? Pay attention. Because the brain is going to form new motor programs, and that's what you're working on now, and that new motor program is going to go as output. And that's where all of your shame and your guilt is going to be inside there, because you're like, oh, look at that, I worked so hard, and now I'm letting down my coaches, I'm letting down my teammates, I'm letting down, you just kind of pile all of the negativity because your output is not what you expected to be. But who did this? Who did it? Who did it? You did it. Because you were trying to multitask. So sit up for me. Let me feel your energy. Sit up. Be intentional. Sit up. I back you. Saw that, right? The door open. Who's the focal point right now?
I didn't look up.
Who is the focal point right now? I am. The door open, you can't look. We're in this for the duration. Alright? You gotta understand you. You gotta understand how your brain works. You gotta understand how to maximize it. Your brains are fresh. And it picks up things like sponges. That's why we love working with you. You are amazing. We see it, even though you don't feel it. We transfer that energy to you. Yeah? You must believe. And you must be disciplined. Right? Then you're going to start enjoying triple jump. Now you're going to be on. There you go, right? Everybody, people, since I've been here, and people are talking about, oh, triple jump is in trouble, triple jump is in trouble because the Diamond League doesn't work. Who you think going to bring triple jump to the attention of the people? Who you think? It's you. It's you and your confidence. It is you and your knowingness. It is you showing the world that, listen, you look, I made you look.
I made you look.
I made you look, right? Yeah? Don't worry about, oh, they cut this and they cut that and they cut that. Just because. They will cut it because they haven't seen you yet. Show up. Show up. And we're teaching you how to show up. Yeah? Because winning is an attitude. You got me? No. Give me a nod. Come on. Give me something. Yeah? You got me? All right, I need to do a quick review on goals. So, you know you have big dreams, right? So, some of you already know this, but this is what we call outcome goals. You're always working towards something, right? In practice, I want you to work towards something. Write in your journal, when I go to practice, this is what I want to work on. Those are the big goals. So I drew a triangle, I put the base on top. You always have somewhere to go. It is like that story, the man, the boy, and the donkey. I told you that story, right? Man, tomorrow I'll tell you. Good? Then, how do you know you are meeting those goals? It's by your performance, right? So you come down the runway, you do your nice little thing, you jump, and you watch back and you look at the mark and you're like, that's my performance goal. Types of goals. So you know that, okay, all right, I got a little better. Yeah, you feel good, right? When you see a performance, all right, this is feeling good, right? What I saw this morning, in order to get the outcome goal, to reach that outcome goal, what I saw was here. Process. That's the one that will make or break you. Process goals. It's the little things. The little things. Pay attention. Listen. I have heard over and over, any questions? And you stay quiet. This is not the time for quiet. If you're struggling, you at a developmental age, let me tell you where you are. When you were a little child, you depended on, maybe like up to 0 to 2 years, you depend on your parents to give you things. You know that, right? Because you've been through that. Yes? You still with me? Yeah? Yeah? You with me? When you get to elementary school, yeah, trying to see what you're good at. You can run. Some people could good at reading. Some people good at. So you kind of But that is when you know what you're not good at as well. And a lot of bullying takes place because people, your peers may laugh at you if you do something and you feel bad because, you don't have the skill set as yet to say, hey, listen, I got me, all right? You don't have that as yet because you're still little, all right? You go to middle school and you know that what happened in middle school, right? Like all over the place. Just trying to figure out who you are. And you move like a buzz, you go to the mall together, and you hang out to and you do it like that group, and so you're in groups. Did I get middle school right? Yeah? You're in high school. So you're coming out of that age, and you're reaching to that self of feeling your own identity. You know you're good at triple jump. You know there's certain things, you know that your GPA is good. You know that I'm good at sciences, I'm good at maths, I'm good at writing. You start figuring it out. And you know now it's about relationships. You learn how to form relationships. So when we talk to you, we expect you to talk back.
Okay.
Yeah? Because that's your developmental age. You don't only talk back in text messages. We can't read it. It's because you didn't send it to us.
And it's not the sentences. They can't read it.
You got me? We need to hear, because you're right here with us. We hear people. You pinch us, we will say, ouch. We need to hear you. We need to hear your voices. We need you to say, could you do this over again? Because I didn't quite catch that. Yeah? Because it's about relationships. Those of you who have the toy, can you